Howdy, gang. Mzuiko 150 to 600 lens. I'm going to take a look at this beast. It is a beast. It is. And we're going to be talking a little bit about it, looking at its features. Okay, 150 to 600 Mzuiko. F5, what is it? F5 to 6.3. It is a monster 1200 millimeter effective focal length on the OM1 Mark II, which is what I'm using it on. Very, very well made lens. I'm going to look at the buttons here quick, talk a little bit about the construction. Right here you have, which is a great feature, you have your focus ranges. Focus range is from 2.8 to 10 meters, which I use a lot at the stations. We have a full range setting, as well as a 10 meter to infinity setting. Next button down is the autofocus manual focus button, and the image stabilizer on and off. And on this side of the lens, we have, which I use a lot actually, very handy, is the tensioning switch. So you have a lock function, which is right there, which locks it at 150 millimeters. It won't extend. Then we have a tight setting, which is nice because if you're carrying it, you can set it on tight and just leave it there and the lens won't droop. This is an extending zoom, external zoom, doesn't zoom internally. And then the next setting here is the smooth, which is very smooth, very nice, has a really nice feel to it. Very precision, very tight. Very close tolerances. It has custom programmable buttons on the barrel here. And this is the lens zoomed all the way out to 600 millimeters. 1200 millimeter effective focal length. On the 2x crop, it's 300 to 1200, which, if you think about that, that's quite a zoom range. You're wondering, well, why is this thing so big? Think about that. 300 to 1200 millimeters. That's 900 millimeters of zoom. That's a lot of zoom, right? And of course, you've got the removable lens hood. So I'll show you what it looks like. This is the size of it without the lens hood on. And lens hood is nice. It's got a rubber bumper on it on the front end, as well as the lens. The lens itself, the front element, has a rubber bumper on it, which is really nice. If you bump it, you're not gonna dent it or anything. Pretty good size front element. Not sure of the exact millimeter of the front element. And yeah, that pretty much covers that stuff. Your average bag should be able to handle this lens. The tripod collar has a very nice, when you loosen it, it's almost like it's on hydraulics or something. It's really cool. And unfortunately, It does have an Arca Swiss foot because it's an extending external zoom, it becomes front heavy. So this foot is inadequate. You can replace the foot. It's got 4 studs on the bottom. You can buy an aftermarket foot that's longer. I had a 100mm plate, so I just put the plate on it. And it also gives me something longer to carry it by, because this really isn't long enough if you're going to carry it by the foot. All right, and that pretty much covers that. Comes with a strap, which I would recommend using, only because you do not want to let this lens hang off the bayonet of the camera mount. It's got some heft to it, and we're going to talk about that coming up here pretty quick. Not a particularly light lens, but considering its zoom range of 900mm, yeah, it's going to be a little big and a little heavy. Unless they made it like Canon, where they made it out of like a polycarbonate or a high impact plastic, which in that case it would be exponentially lighter. All right, so that covers all that. I got a little notepad cheat sheet on the screen. So the one thing I wanted to talk about, this is a Sigma design externally. This is based on the Sigma Sport lens. However, this is not a Sigma Sports lens. This is not a rebranded Sigma, regardless of all the bull crap that you see. People say, oh, it's just a rebranded Sigma. No, it's not. No, it's not. And I'll explain why. This has optical modifications to bring it more in line with the OM system cameras. And you can read about that online. It also has an upgraded image stabilizing system, which makes it compatible with the IS Sync on the OM1 Mark II. And you get, I can't remember exactly what it is and where the focal range is, but it's 7 to 8 stops of image stabilization. Now I can tell you, on a 150 to 600 at 1200mm, this lens, when you hit that button and the stabilization kicks in, it is literally like going to a tripod. It's like you just mounted it to a tripod, and that's hand holding it. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. It is so good. It is absolutely amazing. It's literally like everything's like moving and shaking all over the screen. You hit that button, it goes literally. And I can't even hold my hand that still. That's how good it is. Crazy. One of the best features of this lens. The other thing I wanted to touch on, the autofocus performance. The autofocus performance of this in combination with the OM1 Mark II is nothing short of stellar. It is lightning quick, precise, sticky, and able to acquire focus in the most complex cluster bomb situations that you could possibly find, that you could possibly want to shoot in. It will shoot through branches, and I have some images to show you. It will acquire focus and lock focus literally faster than you can blink in that environment, shooting through trees, through branches. The subject detect, eye detect, in my opinion, is second to none. It is really remarkable. Really remarkable. The hit rate using this in combination with the OM1 Mark II is about 99%. It's amazing. If that thing gets focus, and it will, and you hit that shutter button, you can count on getting it. Don't even look at the back of the viewfinder. You got it. You got it. So, yeah, autofocus performance and tracking. I have some tracking images I'm going to show you from Dead Creek. It was absolutely superb. Superb. And I'm not that good. I'm terrible. I don't shoot many birds in flight. This makes it easy. I'm going to get into something in a second with a caveat. Sharpness of this lens, very, very good. Very sharp, as you'll see in the images. Just incredible. And I'm going to show you some unedited images just straight out of the camera as well. So you can see them pre-edit and cleaning up. And so the last thing I wanted to talk about is the elephant in the room. And we're going to get on to, oh, see? He's just extended all the way out. That back on tight. No more extension. You won't droop. Anyways, the elephant in the room. This really chaps my banana. How many times do you see absolutely ridiculous? You look at some of these comments on these videos, people online, and you're like, oh, wow, and you take it verbatim. Well, I did a little research. Is this a light lens? No, it is not. This is a beefcake. He's heavy. All right. The elephant in the room, weight. Is weight an issue with this lens? Is there a difference between this lens and the 100 to 400? Heck yeah, there is. It's like twice the weight. But the 100 to 400 gives you 800 millimeters. This gives you 1200. So you're asking, dude, are you going to drink that can of ginger ale or what? No, I'm not going to drink it because it's a prop and I need that. So what I'm going to do, this lens right here weighs 4.55 pounds. Okay? It's not the lightest kid on the block. The big white 150 to 400 weighs 4.1 pounds. How many times do you see these idiots online saying, oh, well, you know, that rebranded Sigma? No, it's not a rebranded Sigma. The only similarity between the Sigma and this is in the way it looks. That's about it. Oh, it's so heavy. Too heavy. And then they go on to say, well, I have the 150 to 400. Or my next lens is going to be the 150 to 400. Idiots. Two reasons why. One, that stupid thing is over $8,000 including tax. Unless you buy it used, which you can get it for about $5,400. You know what the difference is in weight between this and the 150 to 400? 7.2 ounces. This is heavier. 150 to 600 is heavier by 7.2 ounces. How heavy do you think this little half-pint can of ginger ale is? 7.5 ounces. So drain 0.3 ounces out of this can and duct tape it to your 150 to 400. And this is what you got. This is nothing. Nothing. So I'm sick and tired of hearing people say, oh, it's so heavy. And then they go on to say, oh, yeah, I can't wait to get my 150 to 400, or I've got a 150. You can't, if you duct tape this to the 150 to 400, you won't even notice a difference in weight. That's how light this is. This thing is stupid. Stupid. Minus 0.3 ounces. Knock it off, guys. All right. Give it a rest. It's getting old at this point. It's just ignorance. People are so ignorant. However, I will say, because this is an external zoom, when this is fully extended, doesn't feel as well balanced. I believe that. However, I have seen countless videos where people are saying, and I've seen image samples showing that the 150 to 400 is soft at 400 millimeters. I know they're not all soft. They all can't be soft, but there's some variance out there where something's not right with the lens. Am I going to spend over $8,000 on a lens and take a chance on that? Not a chance, and you know what? I have no use for that. Really? $2,000? Over $8,000 with 200 millimeter more focal length without a teleconverter, and teleconverters always degrade the image. Always. I haven't seen one that doesn't. I just watched a great presentation regarding the MC, the MC14, the MC20. Yeah, they degrade the images. I saw the tests. It does. They do. I've tried RF teleconverters for the Canons. I've tried the EF Mark IIIs. They all degrade the images. Hate them. Won't use them. Refuse to use them. Anyways, I digress. I figured I'd put a bat to the elephant in the room and put that sucker down once and for all. That's just ridiculous. You're going to pay over $8,000 just to save that much weight? You guys need to get a freaking grip, man. I'm serious. You need to get a grip. All right, we are moving on to image samples. And I want to provide at least a little bit of entertainment for you guys. Get on the image samples and take a look and see what this baby can do. Okay, on to image samples. 150 to 600 OM1 Mark II. These are raw right out of the camera. This is OM Workspace. I'm going to grab some files here. Take a look. There are some 100 to 400 files in here, so I can see. I'll try and isolate it down just to this lens, because I do have some 100 to 400 image samples, and excuse me, sort of a review coming. All right. Oh, this was shot on the 100 to 400. I've already got the wrong image up. Good heavens, this is the 150 to 600. At 600 millimeters, 1200 millimeter effective focal length, 1/800th of a second. And 250 ISO. Zoom out a little bit. Pretty awesome, right? Check this guy. Same, 150 to 600. Look at the eye. You can see the pupil clearly in the iris. Pretty cool, right? Let me check one more image here. What's this? Nope. Okay. Nope. Okay, this is 150 to 600. It's a 600 millimeter, 1/1600th of a second, ISO 2500. Shot red-winged blackbird up in the trees. She's a little noisy. Let's see if I can get. Where am I going? Okay, let's check this one. Nope. We looked at that one. Yep, this is 1/1600th of a second, ISO 1600. Nice and sharp. Same. This was at about 400 millimeter, which is close to 800 millimeter effective focal length, 1/1600th of a second, and 1600 ISO. Looks really good, right? That's nice. Same. Go to this one. Oh, what do we got? 429 millimeter where the lens was set at, 858 millimeter effective focal length, 1600th of a second, 1250 ISO. Look at Woody. This is 328 millimeter, 656 millimeter effective focal length, 1600th of a second, 1000 ISO. Very nice. Very nice. Look at the feather detail right here. And right here. Awesome. Get along, little doggy. Yeah. Okay. This looks very good, Sparrow. Along a little faster. Sparrow. Here's the bullet. Tufted titmouse, 449 millimeter, 898 millimeter. Equivalent, 1/1250th of a second, ISO 1600. Awesome. He's mean looking, isn't he? I love how the wind was blowing and it was moving these pine needles in the background. That's rocking. That's rocking. Looks great. That looks awesome. Sharp lens. Keep going. Yeah, pin sharp. That's absolutely wicked. Great shot. Eyes perfect. See how this camera, this system, even if the eyes are barely visible, it'll grab the eye. It's great. It's really amazing. This is something interesting right here. This is what I'm talking about. This system, this lens and camera system, grabbed the eye of this bird, ignoring this one, and it stayed locked on him. It was instantly. You put that box, that zone, into this area right here, and you hit that button, that's what it's going to grab. Crazy sharp. Looks great. Another one. Grab the eye. Beak is out of focus. Blue jay. Look at the feathers. Look at the sharpness here. Good Lord. That is dynamite. Grab another blue jay. See what I mean? The hit rate's like 100%. I mean, it's incredible. You want it, you got it, baby. All right, we are moving on to the edited images, and I got a bunch of images from different things here. So Move on to here. I can't remember the name of this bird. Now, this was at Dead Creek. It was handheld towards the end of the day. I was just looking around in the trees. I can't remember the name of this bird. I wish I could. Let's go here. Handheld. Even at this angle, it focused right here. It's remarkable. I'm telling you, it's incredible. This may be a female red-winged blackbird, but it's got yellow. I don't think it is because female blackbird doesn't have any yellow on it. This had yellow patch in front of his eye, under his beak, and a little bit on his rear of his cheek. Not sure what that is. These were some ducks in flight, taken at a pretty good distance, flawless in tracking. Just locked on and away we go. Is a female cardinal. I thought this capture was hilarious. They have such great expressions. What a weirdo. Kingbird, eastern kingbird, I got at Dead Creek, sitting on a wire. It's the osprey from my intro. Another osprey shot. Same lens. Another osprey shot. Bonkers. That's one of my favorites. Just dynamite capture. The light was great, lit his face up and his head and his eyes. Wow. Put a nice rim light on his wing right here. Very dynamic image. Killer. Osprey just gliding further away. Osprey on the perch. This was shot from about, easily 100 feet away. And cropped at 1200 millimeters. Handheld. It's hilarious. He was singing. He's going to get something. He's going to get supper. I like that one too. Wings up. Tracking is absolutely superb on this camera. It's dynamite. Red-bellied woodpecker. Man, look at that. That is amazing. Look at that. Beautiful. On the post. You don't think this system's capable? Heck yeah, it is. Under appropriate light, yeah. Thing rocks. Red-winged blackbird. And my buddy the tree swallow. They're so cute. Little bullets, man. They're demons. And that, my friends, pretty much sums it up. Anyways, Mzuiko 150 to 600. OM1 Mark II. Combination. Match made in heaven. Would I recommend it? Yeah. I'll end it with this. Day 2 at Dead Creek, I went up there and I actually missed. I was shooting the 100 to 400 and I really missed having this lens, even though it's significantly heavier. I missed it. I left it, I leave it home? May have left it home. I decided to just shoot with the 100 to 400 IS2, which got some awesome captures, but boy, I really missed that reach. And the hit rate is lower on the 100 to 400. That's what I found. It's not bad, but the hit rate's higher on this. So if you're not thinking about drinking the Kool-Aid, you really don't want to drink the Kool-Aid on the 150 to 400, get this. It's too heavy. It's too heavy for you, remember. Excuse me. Tape this on the 150 to 400, and that's what you got is this. Less 0.3 ounces. You're never going to notice it. Save yourself over $6,000. Go buy a car. Anyways, that's it, folks. We'll see you later. And we'll be back with more. Thanks for stopping by the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button because it helps the algorithm spread. Or if you find this offensive, I'd apologize, but I don't really care. So I'm just telling you like it is. Like it is. That's why I show you stuff and whatever. All right. Have a good day. Thanks for watching. And just throwing some spitballs out there. See ya.